Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Zanny Cakes, and in this video we're going to take a look at the Windy Druid in Project Diablo 2. I'm very excited about this video as it's my first build video for PD2, and I'm excited to make this one and start getting more build videos out there. So today, here in the United States, it is Thanksgiving. I wish all of you a happy Thanksgiving. I hope you're not feeling too tired and lethargic after eating all of that delicious Thanksgiving food. I would like to thank you guys for watching my videos. You guys are awesome, and I think that the Diablo 2 community in general is one of the best communities in the entire gaming world. It's at least the best one that I've come across, and you guys are awesome, and again, thank you for watching me and enjoying the content. In this video, I will go over how the build works and where it works best at. I will go over stats, skill points, as well as mercenary options and gearing options. If you like the video or find it helpful or are looking for more PD2 content, please like and subscribe. I'd also encourage you to check out my Discord server and my Twitch stream. I've got links to those in the description below if you're interested in that. And with that, let's go ahead and take a look at the Wind Druid. So the Wind Druid is a dual element build. It's a caster build, so the damage scales with plus to skills and faster cast rate. Your primary element is physical damage, which is awesome in PD2, and then your secondary damage is cold. This is one of the strongest builds I've found so far in PD2. It does all of the normal game content very well. It does extremely good at Chaos Sanctuary runs, Bale runs, it does good at pits, it's good at farming keys, and it also performs extremely well in all three of the maps that are in the game right now. If you guys have watched any of the map guide videos, all three of those videos were done using my Wind Druid, and it so far has been my favorite build that I've played in PD2. So as far as how the build works, you want to keep your bear up and your hurricane on at all times. You want to keep cyclone armor up to help negate elemental damage. It is optional if you want to keep up your wolves and your heart of the wolverine. You will only have 1 point in each of those, so they tend to be kind of squishy. I like to keep the heart of the wolverine out to help my bear and my mercenary do a bit more damage, but the wolves seem to be squishy with only 1 point in each of them, and they just tend to die, so I just try and focus on keeping my bear up as opposed to the entire wolf pack. You want to use Twister as your primary source of damage against normal mobs, like if you're clearing out Chaos Sanctuary or Worldstone Keeps level 2, 3, even down to the Bale minions. Twister does a good amount of damage with a large AoE, and then you will use Tornado as your boss killer. I also use Tornado on Lister as he's got quite a bit of hit points, and Tornado does much more damage but is harder to aim, and it's a much smaller AoE. You will use Arctic Blast to help kill any physical immunes. The lower hit point physical immunes, like the succubi that you run into in Act 5, or ghosts in Arcane Sanctuary, or on the way to Countess in the Tower, or even on the way to Bale, will die fairly quick to your Hurricane, so you can switch over to Arctic Blast if you want to. However, I'm really pretty lazy myself, and I just let them die to my Hurricane. Anything that is a unique or champion pack that has high physical resistances or is physical immune, I will usually switch over to Arctic Blast and use that to help kill those. So with that, let's go ahead and look at the stats. So as far as stats go, we just need enough strength and dexterity to hold our gear. If you're using a Heart of the Oak flail, you will likely have to put just a few points in dexterity. It took me 15 points in dex, as I didn't have any dexterity from anywhere else, and my flail takes a 35 dexterity to hold. And then you want enough strength to hold your gear. If you are going a max block route, that is totally optional. If you're using Storm Shield, you want to get enough strength to hold your Storm Shield, and then enough dexterity to have max block percentage. However, with my setup, it's a very low strength, very low dexterity requirement, and then everything else just goes into vitality. You do not need any points at all into energy. So as far as skills go, we want to max out Arctic Blast, as it's a synergy, as well as we use it to help kill physical immunes. We get a single point into Cyclone Armor. We get a single point into Gust. It is optional to put extra points into Gust if you'd like to bring the cooldown down on it. However, I found them to be better spent into Bear, but we'll get to that in just a second. We max out Twister, max out Tornado, and max out Hurricane. So again, you want to keep your Hurricane active at all times. You use your Tornado to kill single target bosses and act bosses, things like that. And then Twister will be your AoE, lower damage, pretty much just your group killing option. And we have Arctic Blast to help kill any physical immunes. We have nothing in the shape-shifting tree, and then in the summoning tree, we get 1 point in Raven, 1 point into Heart of the Wolverine, 1 point into Summon Spirit Wolf, 1 point into Summon Dire Wolf, and then everything else left over will go into your Grizzly. If you are leveling as this build, I would recommend getting a point into Grizzly as soon as you can, and then after you max out your elemental skill trees, you will want to then put all your remaining points into your Bear. At a high enough level, you can max out your Bear and have a hard 20 points into it. You'll be able to summon a second Bear. You can do this earlier on if you would like to have a second Bear quicker, but it will take you longer to max out your elemental damage. So it's up to you on which route you want to go. And also, as I mentioned earlier, you can take points out of the Bear and put them into Gust to reduce the cooldown there. I found it best to max out all of my elemental damage first, and then just leave the single point into Gust, and everything else is going towards my Bear. As far as equipment goes, we are using a Heart of the Oak Flail. Ideally, you want better than this one, as I only rolled a 20 all resistances on it, which was pretty disappointing, but it's still our best option in the game. Prior to this, I was using a Spirit Crystal Sword for a little while. I upgraded my Spirit to a Suicide Branch Wand for the +1 to skills and faster cast rate, but ultimately you want to get a Heart of the Oak. It's our best weapon that we can get. Anything with + to skills or faster cast rate is a good option. For helmet, I'm using a Jalal's Mane. It's overall a pretty good helmet. There are better options than Jalal's. We do get +2 to skills, some faster hit recovery, some stats, and then quite a bit of resistances as well as mana per kill. Jalal's Mane is a very good defensive type helmet to use. It's got a lot of good survivability stats. However, going with a +3 to elemental skills Circlet or Pelt would be a good option. You could also go for something like a Spirit Keeper that adds +2 Tornado or Twister or Hurricane on top of the +2 to Druid skills, or any rare Pelt that adds 2 to all Druid skills, preferably with Tornado or Twister as well. For our shield slot, we're using a Lidless Wall. It's got +2 to skills, faster cast rate. Ideally, you want +2 to skills. It can roll just a single + to skills, but ultimately you want +2 to skills. It's got faster cast rate, gives you mana after kill. Overall, this is probably your best option as far as shield goes. I was lucky enough to find this ethereal and slam indestructible on it, and that was also before they fixed the glitch with ethereal item slam, so it's got almost 1900 armor on it, and it's better than any shield I can currently get in the game right now. So other options for shield would be a Spirit Shield. You can use a Steel Clash Kite Shield is a very good option now. I used that up until I got the Lidless Wall. Another good option would be Splendor, the rune word, 2-socket rune word. And any skill or any shield that you can get that adds plus to skills is a very good option. For our chest piece, we're using a Skins of the Viper. We get plus to skills, faster cast rate, all resistances, and magic damage reduced by a flat amount. So overall, this is an extremely good armor. Other good armors would be Opma's Whale for faster cast rate, faster hit recovery, magic find, plus to skills. A Spirit Shroud Ghost Armor gives you plus to skills, faster cast rate, and can't be frozen. Ideally, I would like to upgrade this to a +2 Skins of the Viper, +2 to skills Skins of the Viper, or a Chains of Honor would be a very good rune word to go for. On your chest piece, you are just looking for anything with plus to skills on it. I'm using Chance Guards. You can use Chance Guards for Magic Find, or you can use Mage Fist or the Trang's Gloves for faster cast rate. You can use crafted caster gloves for some mana per kill, resistances, or whatever you'd like. Ultimately, you'll want to use Chance Guards if you don't need faster cast rate, or you want to use Mage Fist or Trang's Gloves if you do need the faster cast rate on them. For boots, I'm using some rare boots that I found. They've got faster run walk, faster hit recovery, cold resist, fire resist, and magic find. So rare boots can be extremely good. You are looking for faster run walk resistances. Magic find is good. Strength is good. As far as unique and set goes, Alder's boots are excellent. Silkweaves are excellent. War Travelers are very good if you are looking for more magic find. The boots are a pretty open slot. Another good option would be crafted caster boots to get some more increased mana regeneration, as well as some bonus to your mana pool in general. For belt, I'm using an upgraded Linimo Sash. It's got 10% faster cast rate, mana regen, max mana, and then some resistances. Pretty good belt all around. I've always been a pretty big fan of Linimo Sash. Ideally, you would want an Arachnid Mesh. However, other good options would be Gloom's Trap. It now has faster cast rate and gives you some mana, or a crafted caster belt. You can get 10% faster cast rate on those with all sorts of good mods like faster hit recovery, resistances, strength, or any other rare belt mod that can roll on a crafted caster belt. As far as rings go, I'm using this one just for the resistances. I didn't really have anything better at the time, so I've got this one for resistances, a little bit of life. And we've got a faster cast rate ring with some resistances, some life replenish. Ideally, I would like to get a pair of rings that add +1 to skills on them. So either Stone of Jordan, Bolcathos, or ideally Wisp projectors. You don't really need the mana from Stone of Jordan. The bonus life on Bolcathos is good, but the Wisp projector will give you magic find as well as lightning absorb on top of the +1 to skills. So ideally, your best in slot rings will be Wisp projectors. And then for the amulet, I'm using a +3 to elemental skills amulet. This is a very good option to go with that's relatively cheap. You can gamble them. They're not all that uncommon. They're pretty cheap to trade for. You can also go with a +2 to druid skills, either rare or crafted amulet, or even something like a Mara's Kaleidoscope. As you can see, I don't have anything socketed yet. I'm waiting for a puzzle box to drop for my lidless wall. You can use your sockets, if you have them, for either all resistances by putting diamonds or runes into your shield slots. You can do runes in your helmet or armor for all resistances. Or if you want to go for a magic find route, you can put runes or topazes in your gear as well. There's not really much of a point in putting something like a facet in there. Cold damage is your secondary damage, and facets don't increase your physical damage at all. so you don't really need any facets or increased attack speed or anything like that. So your best bet is to get all resistances or magic find in your socket slots. As far as charms go, you want to get life and resistances on your small charms. Magic find is good. Ideally, you want to get a Druid, Torch, and a Nihilus. I don't have an Nihilus yet, but resistances and life is good. And then you want to get elemental skillers. Again, I don't have I'm not completely optimized here. Still need a few more elemental skillers, but ideally you would want 9 elemental skillers, a torch, and a Nihilus, and then 10 small charms with whatever you need as far as resistances or bonus life, bonus magic find. So let's take a look at the Mercenary here. So I'm using an Act 2 defensive Mercenary for the Defiance aura. He has an Insight on him. I chose to go with the Warpike as it does the highest damage. Since we are healing with leech damage, more damage means more healing. If you're coming from Path of Diablo, where you're primarily healing with life gained on hit, your increased attack speed and faster weapons are ideal. However, since we are healing with leech here in PD2, a higher damage is a better option. So I've got the Insight Warpike that gives us the meditation aura, helps us keep our mana up, and overall is a very strong option, especially when combined with his Defiance aura. That makes him, you, and your bear more tanky. And then having the mana regeneration is amazing. Other than that, we've got Tal Rasha's a Gladiator's Bane, a rare belt that adds strength and resistances, and then 2-piece Saigons. You can use either the gloves and the belt or the gloves and the boots. And the 2-piece Saigon gives you, with the gloves, gives you 30% increased attack speed, as well as 10% life leech on hit. We get some strength on the gloves, and then on the boots, we get some cold resistance. The belt, I believe, has fire resistance, and overall, the 2-piece Saigons is extremely good. But when gearing out your Mercenary, you mostly just want to build your Merc around the weapon itself. So we want either the Act 2 Mercenary with Insight. It is also possible to go with a Reaper's Toll that you can proc amp damage. Amp damage will increase the damage that you do with tornadoes and twisters as it reduces enemy physical resistance, and tornado and twister does physical damage. However, I found the mana sustain to be just as good as having amplify damage. They do enough damage without having amplify damage on enemies to where it really only made a difference on boss fights. So overall, I would recommend probably going with the Insight on the Act 2 Mercenary, or my end game goal would be to get an Act 1 Cold Mercenary, as they have the Meditation aura, and use the Wrath runeword in a Chuko Nu or Demon Crossbow. The Chuko Nu and Demon Crossbow has a negative 60 weapon speed, so you only need 8% increased attack speed on your Mercenary to hit 8 frame attack speed on them. So using Wrath has 35 to 45% increased attack speed on it. You hit your fastest attack speed breakpoint on the Mercenary with just the weapon. It has a 30% chance to proc amp damage on striking, and overall is very good. So you have your meditation aura, and then you still have your amp damage proc. And since you have your bear to tank, you don't really need the defensive Mercenary to hold your front lines for you. You can do just fine with having the Act 1 Mercenary sitting back with you, shooting her arrows very fast, proccing amp damage, and that's my ultimate goal once I am able to get the Wrath runeword built. Looking at the enhanced stats here, you want to get max resistances as best you can. Any absorption and damage reduction on top of that is bonus. We don't really need any elemental mastery here. We don't need any attack rating or anything like that. Defense is good, but not super important. And then ideally, you want to hit your 99% faster cast rate breakpoint, and then getting either the 39 or 56 on faster hit recovery is really where you want to be at for the faster hit recovery. We don't need any leech, any crushing blow, deadly strike, or anything like that. And, any sort of magic find you can build in afterwards is just an added bonus to the build. So I hope this video helps you guys out. I think that the Windy Druid is an extremely strong mapper. It's probably one of the stronger mappers in the game at the moment, since it does high amounts of physical damage, has great mobility. You have the utility of having your bear that's an excellent tank. You have cyclone armor to help reduce elemental damage that you receive, and it's just a very strong build and a very good option if you're looking for a mapper that can do all 3 tiers of maps. And with that, I would like to thank you guys again for being awesome. I love the Diablo 2 community. I'd like to give a big thank you to the PD2 dev team. They've done amazing the entire time. They have been on top of fixing glitches and bugs. They've been just absolutely fantastic with communicating through Discord, and I'd like to give a big thank you to those guys. And with that, good luck, have fun, and we hope to see you out there.